Every year there is a lot of wonder kids that come out in the world of football, and one of the best places for that is Ligue 1, where young talent has always prevailed and moved on to bigger clubs. And that is very similar to this guy, Doue, who has been lighting up Ligue 1 and turning a lot of heads at just the age of 19. But why do so many clubs want to sign this player? Well, let's get into it. So Doue has made wavelengths of sounds for Rennes this season, although getting the picture since last year, 22-23, he has been a main part of their team. At the age of 18, he has played in a numerous amounts of positions, and last season he played in pretty much everywhere in the midfield and the attacking line other than up front. Despite this, he's predominantly found his position on the left wing side for Rennes. Now, he is traditionally and naturally 2/3, so he can play on the right and the left, and on the left has definitely caught attention for a lot of people with his brilliant dribbling skills and his quick feet that he has, making him a very entertaining footballer. However, despite this, he usually doesn't actually start the games in left wing and often moves in there throughout the game. He loves playing in the attacking midfield or at least as a central part of the team, and prefers drifting out wide to create space and give positions to his other teammates. And this versatility has made him give a lot of control and dictatorship in the games, being able to pick and choose where his team will attack from, which is very rare at such a young age. But he can cover the 8, the 10 and the right wing occasional positionals too, filling in for places where people will move up or be in different places at that time. Now, the first major strength by him is obviously his ability to dictate tempo and be able to control the game with his dribbling and passing abilities. Now, he's definitely a naturally talented footballer. He finds it very easy to keep the ball and go past a lot of players, being very press resistant and being one of the best dribblers out there. His ball manipulation in terms of dribbling and taking defenders for a stroll is up there with the best in the world. He's often very good at using deception techniques like step overs or quick changes with brilliant acceleration to get past players, and he seems to always find a way to be able to get past a couple of players down the wing. And with him being so young, he's definitely fearless in this role. Per game, he's making nearly 6 take-ons attempted and he's winning around 3.5. This puts him at the top 1% of take-ons in Europe out of any other midfielder this season. This is down to the fact he is very comfortable in many different angles, even being in the centre or out wide when there's not a lot of space, by going past players and not even needing help by anyone around him. And because he is 2/3, he's always good at different angles and can use his right and left foot equally to go past players very easily. This, combined with his high quality composure that he has, make him a very interesting acquisition for anyone to get him. He's certainly unique and is one of the best dribblers already at such a young age. And he is also an incredible carrier or passer with the team progressively. He is making around 4.5 progressive carries per 90 and 6.5 progressive passes. His carries are so high because that dribbling level is so good, and he's got a brilliant scan level like a traditional midfielder, being able to sense danger before it actually comes and go past it. And although he doesn't get on the ball as much as you would like with the passing wise, he often tries to look forward and make progressive passes a lot, and he's receiving around 9.5 progressive passes as well, getting into good positions up the pitch. And this is proven to be an attacking and a positive thing for his team, with the fact he is making around 4.2 carries into the final third and 1.5 carries per game into the penalty area. So he is picking the ball up from deeper positions and running with the ball into elevated positions such as in the box and into the final third. And his total carrying distance and progressive carrying distance is really high, in the top 2% of midfielders in Europe. This means that Doue has a brilliant transitional threat while running at the ball at high speed, and in larger spaces he can really dominate and get up the pitch quickly. This can help teams such as maybe Arsenal that really need that transitional threat where they can quickly get up the pitch and get someone on the counter attack who's going to make the right decision and be very quick in doing it. But that is not all the positives that he has. He is a very good one-on-one player despite majority playing in midfield. When he's out on the wing positions, which he drifts out to, he can take on players very easily and is very good at setting up teammates with crosses. He has a brilliant ability at taking minimal touches when he receives the ball to make sure he can shift his body into favourable angles, and is someone that doesn't do too much but does enough where he can get the ball and go past players with his brilliant dribbling ability. He also has brilliant strength in these positions as well. When players are holding on to him, he often keeps with the ball quite a lot and shrugs off a lot of players that come towards him. His close control and his agility, where he's got a really good balance as well, make this whole dribbling even better, and he's definitely deadly in any situation where someone comes up to him, because he loves it when they get tight to him to go past them. And although he's not the best defensive player in the world and he's not the tallest at 5 5'11". He has a very mobile body and is very good at applying pressure and slowing down the build-up and transition threat of other teams. Although making decent amount of tackles and interceptions for an attacking player, his blocks at 1.6 per 90 are very high, so he's very good at last-ditch blocks and getting in the right position if backs are against the wall. Despite this, there is also some weaknesses with the player. He definitely has some decision-making problems when it comes to shooting or passing, and sometimes he would shoot too early or pass it off too early where he could just get a run at the player. And although he is a very young player and he's very optimistic, sometimes your self-confidence does lead you into a bad path, and sometimes he makes the wrong decision thinking that he could pull off a shot which doesn't go, but at the young age you like to see him doing them things anyway. He is also so young and he's not necessarily the finished product. Last season he only scored 4 goals and got 4 assists and had an XG that was actually a lot lower than them in both circumstances. This means he's yet to get necessarily into them right positions all the time, and sometimes he is playing a little bit more deeper. With his versatility role where he plays in midfield and moves out to the wing or vice versa could be a bit confusing for some teams to pass it out to him into where he's going to be. And any player that is a very dribble heavy player is always going to have the risk of losing the ball. This is why you get these players in, because you know that most of the time they're going to be able to go past players and create great opportunities, but there could be a little threat where they lose the ball and don't get back enough in time. And although he is predominantly probably a central player, he's not necessarily getting on the ball enough for some top teams that would want, only making around 42 passes per game at a 74% completion rate, with a lot of his short passing and medium range passing not being at the required level that you would want, not really trying them small easy passes, which can be seen as good things as well, but sometimes it may seem like he's doing a little bit too much where he doesn't need to. Overall, Doue has definitely got a brilliant potential and chance to sign for someone this summer. At just 40 mil transfer value, there is definitely a deal to be had there, but at 19 years old, there's definitely going to have to be patient and going to have to be time for the team he joins. He won't necessarily be a starter straight away. But right now, at the age of 19, he can provide depth in left wing, attacking midfield, and also left centre mid in that 8 role. Now, his passing might not be as good as some teams would want there, but he can definitely develop it, and his dribbling ability and more importantly his progressive nature is very good to get the team up the pitch. Teams like Arsenal, teams like Tottenham, teams like United could definitely be interested in this player, but to play him as an out and out winger would be a mistake. He needs to have the freedom to be able to go into midfield as well. And the conclusion is that he definitely has world-class potential, with the sky being his ceiling. Rennes have definitely got a record of making really good youngsters such as Cavaminga and Ousmane Dembele, and it could have just happened yet again with this player being one of them bargains that you can get early before he really has a breakthrough year next year where he lights up the world. And it may give some explosiveness, some transitional threat, and some X factor that these teams are missing going forward. Let me know what you think about him in the comments, and let me know who you think he should sign for. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.